Is this menu change a whole new world?
Princess of Berry, we're in EPCOT, but it's time to return to
Spice Road Table.
Yeah, we hear some new spices on the road in the number one choice in foodie infotainment. We're here to try the new menu, so you don't have to, because she's vegan. I'm not. We're gonna make it spicy.
It's time to foodie and chill. Starting at the top of the menu, we have the beautiful appetizer option. I guess like it's all tapas, so it's not really an appetizer, but it is the Spice Road Table bread service. It has some beautiful hummus across the zulak, which I guess is here. Chermoula, which is this beautiful one, some marinated olives, and the Za'atar. I have no clue where that is. I guess that's what's topping the hummus. Now, what makes this not vegan is the bread. The naan has dairy. So for you dairy allergy people, you can switch it out, no problem. And gluten-free people, switch it out, no problem. And you have cucumber pieces. So I'm just going to get some of this hummus here. I don't think I'm going to try every item. I think I'm just going to do one. Actually, maybe I'll just do a couple bites and then tell you. The hummus is really fresh. I like the hummus. It is giving like the dips that they do over at Tangerine Cafe. And then I also think this Za'atar sauce is the same one that they offer at, I want to say it's Za'atar sauce. I'm probably wrong. They offer this at Tangerine Cafe. That one is very olive forward. And then I'm going to try this one final sauce here. This one looks scary. This one looks spicy. I'm not a fan of that either. It is kind of like the trio that you get over at the Tangerine Cafe. But of course, as a vegan, you cannot get the bread. Just like over there. Each sauce has its own uniqueness. I would say the hummus is the 4 out of 5. The other two sauces are like a 2. And I'm not even going to try it with the olives. So this is a hummus and cucumber situation for me, and I'm okay with that.
If it's one thing that we enjoy as foodies, it is a sampler of things, or even like a little tiny platter, even in a tapas place. We want to try everything, and honestly, we just do, especially your Spice Road Table. The menu shrunk, but the flavors have not. So we're here to try all the things. So you have some of this hummus, and I believe the hummus is Za'atar. Got a little bit of olive on there to keep it fresh. Now, again, the bread does have dairy in it. Not so much that I can't have it, but obviously it's not vegan. So none for the princess vegetarians. This is for you. Super fresh, very, very like bright spices along with the olive oil. Keeps it from being like too earthy, and I love that. Then we're going to attack this zoog here. As I butcher that name, forgive me. I try. At least I try. That one, there's nice acidic, that tomato base in there. Really brings everything to life. A very front of the mouth forward flavors. Gets you in the mood. And for the last one, I'm going to steal the olives. I say steal as if the princess wanted them. And then what I believe is some version of the Chermoula with stuff in it. I think it's a Chermoula base, but it definitely has a ton of olives in it in addition to the olive that I added. I feel like I doubled down on the olive. I should have just skipped the olive separately. But still, very strong flavor. I like it. This is definitely like a share with your friends over beverages platter. Even with the size, it's delicious. I would give this a 3.75 out of 5 claws. Now we just need places to stop getting naan bread with dairy in it. It's naan. It doesn't need the dairy. The biggest change of the menu, aside from the things that they have removed, is probably this lamb kefta. The dimensions have changed. It's more like almost meatballs than it is, and like the sort of like elongated piece that you got before. And instead of being a yogurt base, you now have a tomato based sauce with feta cheese instead of the yogurt being sort of like the chief sauce that it sits in, which is interesting. I'm not mad at feta. I don't dislike feta, but I mean, I always like the Greek yogurt. So hopefully, this is an improvement. We like things to change. We like differences. If it stayed the same all the time, well, that would be boring. Very interesting. The tomato sauce has a little bit of cinnamon in it. So it's got like a hint of sweet. And then you get the feta with like that nice like cheese, like sour punchy flavor. It actually goes quite well together. It's very different than when I have the Greek yogurt, but not in a bad way. It's a different flavor profile almost completely except for the base of the lamb. But honestly, I think it's a good change. Not a bad change. No, not better, not worse, but a change. I think people are going to like this one. The tomato flavor, I think, is a little bit easier for some people to get on board with a meat than, say, yogurt. So maybe this is better for all palates. I know that yogurt and meat is not a universal thing. Though, if you get a chance at some point, you should definitely try it. I'll give this a 4.25 out of 5 claws. The shrimp survives where the calamari did not. The calamari is gone from the menu, short-lived because it had just came back last year, and now it's gone again, leaving the shrimp as the only seafood left on the menu. But it is a chili, garlic, and peri sauce shrimp, served with a little bit of pita on the side. Now remember, for those with allergies, the pita does have dairy in it, so be careful of that. I hope this is like burn my esophagus spicy, because that would make up for the calamari being gone. And I see a ton of peppers in here, but I get to serve it up on a piece of naan, like a little shrimp pizza. I wouldn't call it spicy. I would call it of the spices. It's clearly hung around the correct spices. It knows the correct people. Its parents would approve of the spices it's hanging out with. It's not hanging out with a bad crowd spice-wise. It's definitely imbuing the character of the spices. So I taste very much the smokiness, the tartness of both the chili and the peri. And then you have that roasted garlic in there. Those flavors all gel really well, but it's not something that's going to burn out your insides. Would I prefer that? 100%. But I am dead inside, so that's a whole different story for me. But I like the character profile of it. I definitely feel like it's changed since the last time we got it, but changed for the better. Now it's like a flavorful, juicy bite. You get plenty of shrimp to share on the table. This is what Tapas is all about. Get all the things and share with friends. We just need more friends. Probably not. We're probably fine. We have tons of all of you, after all. I would give this a solid 4 out of 5 claws. The calamari may be gone, but the shrimp is here to stay.
A friend that started on the festival menu that arrived to the Spice Road table menu is still here and going strong. Our friend, the hummus fry. Now, if you like hummus, but like a dry version of hummus, you will love the fry. Plus the sauce is a winning combo. Dolmas may be gone, but the hummus fries live on. More often than not, these fries come across as really dry and needing a lot of sauce. These ones are actually pretty moist. It almost tastes like there's a lot of chickpea flour up in there, which I'm not mad at. It is beautifully seasoned. It is a classic. My heart was broken when the dolmas left, but I would be destroyed if they remove the hummus fries and they don't put it in a festival or anything. It is a 4.75 out of 5 hummus. Actually, you know what? It's a 5 out of 5. It's not a Princess Cities item, but it is a necessity to order when you come here, especially with the sauce. It's a win.
These hummus fries, there's history with us here. Even before we had any interest in trying the entire menu, the princess would drag us here specifically for the hummus fries. The hummus fries are responsible for probably the first half of the food reviews in this channel, because like she needed these fries, like biblically needed. Gigantic plague sort of like level must have these fries, or heads will roll. She's a villain after all. But with the cucumbers, the tomatoes, and this sauce, and initially, I'll admit, I hated these, but over the years, they have grown on me. Now they're a staple. We cannot come here and like not order these. It's like not getting guacamole in a Mexican restaurant. It's basically equivalent to a hummus breadstick. A little bit of spices, perfect dipping sauce, a little accoutrements, beautifully plated. A little bit of spice. I would say like 3 out of 10 on the heat scale, but worth every bit of it. Because you know what? They are the ultimate finger food. I would say the preferred way to consume hummus at this point. I would give this a 5 out of 5 claws. It's on the bare necessities list. We get these every time for a reason. Don't rob yourself of flavor. Don't do that.
This cauliflower has also been on the menu for a while. It has had several different presentation changes, different sauces, but always pomegranate based, which I'm never mad at. But this iteration is some large florets. I gotta say, this is like the Australia of cauliflower. Dip this in here. All right, cheers. I will say this cauliflower used to have like a little bit of a kick to it. It has none of that anymore. It's more like for all palates. And it kind of gives like Chinese takeout vibes, if I'm being honest. Or like, yeah, Chinese takeout vibes. Or like the Indian Chinese fusion restaurant takeout vibes. It's good. It's just been better in the past. And I think if you get smaller florets, they're a little bit more flavorful. When you get the bigger ones, they're not as flavorful. The sauce is great too, but would I riot if they took this off the menu? Probably. It's always delicious no matter what, and I love the sweetness of it, and it's got a nice little tang to it too. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 cauliflowers. Not my favorite iteration, but always delicious.
This cauliflower has remained strong, and it's still not skipping leg day. If cauliflower has had legs, whatever the equivalent is for a head of cauliflower, this boy is massive, or girl, or they and then and them, but either way, I love the sprinkle of the pomegranate, and we're always here for a good dipping sauce. Yeah. While they're definitely not skipping leg day, so the size is there, I definitely feel like they don't box no more. Like, it don't got the hands it used to. That smack of spice, I agree, is not there. There's definitely some spices to it. You get some kick up in the dipping sauce a little bit, but it's more like of like that harissa smokiness than actual spice. So not going to burn the palate, but more acceptable for most people. The pomegranate gives that hint of sweetness, but I also feel like the base sauce on the cauliflower is also a little bit sweet. Approaching like candy flavored, but not so much. Definitely sweeter than I was expecting. It's still got a good bite to it. It's still a very filling portion. If you're going to come here and get anything that was even close to what I would call like an entree, the cauliflower, given size alone, has almost always qualified. I would give it a 4 out of 5 claws. It's still good, but sort of like sliding down the scale from what it was previously. The chicken Bastilla is still here. But its configuration has changed. I feel like it's the chameleon of this restaurant. I feel like every time I see it, it looks just a little bit different. You basically have the same braised chicken filled Filo dough, a little bit of powdered sugar on top. There's some almond slices in here as well. And then you have this little kiddie pool of Aleppo honey here on the side. So it's meant to be like a sweet chicken meat pie, both with the powdered sugar and the honey itself. And you see it is filled to the brim with that braised chicken. Filled. So they're not skipping you. It's not like a bag of Lay's. They believe in filling their dough here. So Filo dough. This one I still feel is an acquired taste because you expect like a savory meat pie, but it's very much on the sweet side, both with the honey and the powdered sugar. And you don't have to get the honey, but even with the powdered sugar on its own, it's more of like a sweet pastry filled with savory braised chicken. Those flavors and the mesh of them acquire taste. I still think it's good, but I feel like it's like one of the least approachable items in the menu for most people. I would give it 3.75 out of 5 claws. Nothing wrong with it. Just it stands among greatness. And when that happens, somebody's got to be at the bottom.
This is one of the items that changed. Now, this is the Tagine, and pretty much everything is the same. Preserved lemon, olives, veggies. Now the veggies are actually on the menu this time because before it was just the olives and the preserved onions, and then also the tagine just said tagine. Now they have added the word couscous up in there so that you know that this is a couscous dish. Now this is the Moroccan couscous, not an Israeli couscous. And back in the day, in fact, there's a really old video of it on our channel. There used to be an amazing restaurant here in the Morocco Pavilion called Restaurant Marrakech. One time when we were filming there, Jasmine actually came in and danced with a belly dancer because they used to have a belly dancer in there with live music. And as a vegan, they had like a vegetable couscous situation. So it was just couscous, and then they put big pieces of fresh veggies on there. That's basically this. The only difference is the olives and the preserved lemon. Outside of that, like these big pieces of veggies is like basically what they offered at Restaurant Marrakech. So even though we don't have the entertainment and the coolness of Restaurant Marrakech, plus that beautiful restaurant, as I spill it, at least we have a small piece of it here at Spice Road Table. Now, this pavilion used to be in partnership with the government of Morocco, and they would sponsor a lot of things in this pavilion. And then around, I want to say it was like COVID times, Disney ended up taking over this pavilion. So as a result of that, the menu hasn't really changed that much. Like little things here and there. Pieces of Restaurant Marrakech are here, and Restaurant Marrakech itself is just not a thing. Sometimes they use it as like a cooling area, a pass holder area. It's been like a multi-purpose room at this point. This is taking me there, to Restaurant Marrakech. I actually do think this is a little bit more flavorful than the options that I used to be able to get there. And I'm really not mad at it. I don't have any notes. The olive thing is a problem for me because I just don't like olives in general, but that's not a criticism of the dish. That's my personal preference. So take that as you will. Bear will definitely eat those. He loves them. So for me, the tagine is like a 4 out of 5 tagines. I really have no notes. I just think maybe a larger variety of veggies would make this a little bit better, and maybe some chickpeas, like some crispy chickpeas would be good, like this little accoutrement topping.
Every single time I see the tagine in my mind, all I can do is scream justice for Restaurant Marrakech. There were lots of behind-the-scenes reasons why Restaurant Marrakech closed, and I'll admit, when it was open, not the best restaurant on the World Showcase. Entertainment was great. The atmosphere was next to none. I think the only restaurant whose theming even comes close to what Restaurant Marrakech was is probably Oktoberfest in Germany. The only one, the Beer Garden, is the only one that comes remotely close.
Not even
Not even Senhel Inn comes close to the theming that we had inside Restaurant Marrakech. Those that experience, lucky few at this point. It does not deserve to be a rest station from the heat. It doesn't need to be your Lorcana trading station. I don't care where Advent Health wants to stick their little rest stations so they can advertise their sponsorship of the park. There are other buildings in this park for that. The play pavilion is still up there, surrounded by trees and bushes in a fake fence. Okay, there are other places to put that. You have an entire flex space in Communicore Hall. Restaurant Marrakech deserves its place on the World Showcase map. Now I'll get off my soapbox, but yes, justice for Restaurant Marrakech. With tons of olives, peppers, the preserved lemon, you have some cauliflower in here, and then tons of the couscous. And yes, I'm going to rob as many of the olives as I can, rescue them from the princess's evil clutches. Give me a spoonful. Other than lemonade, honestly, I'm usually a lemon hater. I'm very sensitive about the amount of lemon you put in a dish. So preserved lemon, when it's mentioned in the menu, especially here, always gives me pause. But honestly, once I eat that with some of the olives, the saltiness, that brininess of the olive completely balances out that citrus acidity of the lemon. to where it's a nice, flavorful dish. I think in the beginning when we used to get this, it was almost twice the size. I think this is a much more manageable portion. My eyes could be playing tricks on me given the number of veggies that we had before. It's probably around the same size, honestly. But it's still a nice shareable portion. And if you've never had couscous, this is one of, I think, the better examples of how you can try to see different ways that you can add things to it, season it to make it a flavorful entree. Because this, to me, ever since it got added to the menu, is definitely more of an entree portion than a shareable portion. I would give this a solid 4 out of 5 claws. It has earned its place in the menu, but you'll never, ever stand where Marques stood.
If I don't get the secret menu whiskey sour here, I usually get the Excellens Rosé all day. I also get this at Three Bridges. It is a very delicious, bright rosé that is very easy to drink no matter the temperature outside, which is very important in Florida. Still bright, fresh, crisp, and delicious. I would give it a 4 out of 5 wines.
You can think of no better way to wash down Moroccan food than with a Moroccan beer. So why not go traditional with a Moroccan blonde ale? If you're going to find spices along the Spice Road table, accept no substitutes. Full flavored, clean finish. A blonde in name only, because this definitely knows exactly what it's doing. I would give that a 4 out of 5 claws. It's given honestly, it's given funky Buddha vibes. The thickness is almost like a Belgian, but like a different flavor profile, and I love that. It may not be a whole new world, but it's definitely more of the same flavors on the road.
I'm happy with some of the changes and also sad with some of the other ones. I think our gluten-free friends are going to be sad about the calamari.
Yes, definitely saying that go with a sad one. This menu just keeps shrinking and getting smaller, and so do our hopes and dreams of some sort of pure revitalization of that restaurant. It doesn't need like a refurb, but the menu needs a refresh.
I just remember when it was 2 pages or 3 pages and then 2 pages, and now it's like a half sheet. It's sad. It's
shrinking. This whole pavilion, it needs to be brought back to life, and I think we need to start with the menu at Spice Road table. Then
Restaurant Marrakech.
Exactly. Princess understands me so well. Yes. But we know what you guys think of the Moroccan Pavilion. Do you guys even consider your Spice Road table? If you don't, you're breaking my heart. But give your reasons in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you want to see us do, the comments will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't, we'll get blown away by the wind.
It's blustery, but you heard the girl.